Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Rassie, Erasmus and his coaching staff have just named his match day 23 to take on the All Blacks in Cape Town this weekend, and needless to say, there are some major talking points which we'll get into in this video. But before we do that, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you liked it, and if you found value in it, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps me massively on my way to becoming the #1 sports content creator in South Africa. You guys have been awesome with the support so far, so thank you very much for that. I've looked at all the comments, I've taken all the constructive criticism, and I can't wait to give this journey a proper go. So let's get into it. So if we have a look at it, in the forward pack, it's unchanged. That is what I predicted on my Springbok predicted 23. However, there were question marks around Siya Kolisi, been past fit to come through. So Siya Kolisi starts at 6 and he's our captain. And I was interested, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I was saying like, yo, you know, maybe Siya needs to have a bit of a, I don't know, maybe off the bench. So you don't want a guy who's got a sort of an injury playing with, you don't want anyone playing with a niggle. And he said, like, let's be honest, you want Siya Kolisi running out and leading us on Saturday. You want him running out, you want him facing the haka, you want him singing the national anthem. You know, it really brings a real pride, I think, to the team, and I think he's a guy who gets the guys going pretty well. And then of course you've got Boks, only knows one way, and that's forward. And then of course Bongi to hit those lineouts. France sort of he goes under the radar, hey, let's be honest. Guy really does his job, not flashy, but yeah, a real servant to South African rugby, to put your body through that many scrums, and now especially under Don Human, who's a Malcolm Klein, and they go live scrums in training. So he really puts his body on the line for South Africa, and I think he probably deserves a little bit more credit than he gets. And then of course unpack, just the enforcer, starting this weekend. He obviously didn't have such a hectic injury, because obviously he is starting again. We're interested to see how many minutes he gets. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes the full 80, especially with no real out-and-out lock on the bench. I mean, Ulrich can cover it, but other than that, Kwagga's not a lock. I suppose you can move Pieter-Steph to lock should they need to, and then Kwagga to open side, or Ulrich to open side. You can sort of play around with that loose trio, but in the locks, we're thin there, so it'll be interesting. I think both our locks are probably going to go 80, and if they need to, we'll move Pieter-Steph to 4, and then maybe Kwagga or Ulrich goes on the side of the scrum. So yeah, we got unpack, Ruan Nokia, who's going to lead our line out and go. I think he'll go really well. He's someone who's looked really settled. If you think about it, Oaks, like, he's a guy who's come in and played really important test matches. Like, he played against Oz. These are tough test matches. This is not an introduction test match, if you get what I'm saying. Like, and with all respect to Portugal and I guess a team like Georgia, you know, these guys are coming into really high pressure environments and games. Like, if you look at Ronald here, played last week against the All Blacks. Someone said to me the other day, you have two test debuts. You have test debut, and then the first time he played against the All Blacks, and he went really well. So yeah, really excited to see how he goes. And then of course Siya Kolisi back, our captain and our leader, and someone who brings massive energy to our team. And then Pieter-Steph, a guy again who probably he gets some credit, but not enough. Sort of similar to France, you know, with what he puts his body through and the sacrifice he makes for his country. It's quite remarkable. And I probably use that word a little bit too much, but it is. And he really does sacrifice his body for no regard for his body, put it that way, which I like. And then of course Jasper Wiese, who's going to bruise those All Black players. There'll be some very sore bodies on Saturday or on Sunday morning. And then we have our 9-10 combo, Grant Williams and Andre Pollard. I'll start with Grant. He's a guy who I've been asking to start for a while now, but to be fair, coming off the bench probably suits him a little bit more, and the game's a little bit looser and guys are a little bit more tired, so he can really test defenses and open up gaps for other guys. However, this weekend he starts. It'll be interesting to see how he goes, and especially in that period between the 20 and 40, that second quarter of the game, where it's all a little bit tight. People are still sort of, you know, finding their rhythm. It'll be really interesting to see how he goes in that and how he manages the game with Andre, of course. And I listened to a Will Jordan speak today, I think it was, and he was saying, like, you know, the things that they really need to work on is their kick battle and their contestable kicks, which is where a guy like Andre Pollard sort of comes in. He'll be able to manage a game, sort of put them into corners, kick them into corners, and really test them with that, especially the up and unders. And on that, Canon Moody starts at number 11. I've been watching him throughout the Currie Cup, and in all honesty, I haven't been blown away by what he's done in the Currie Cup, but obviously I've seen Rassie and them have seen battle stats that I haven't. I've sort of probably just been looking at surface level stuff. He comes in, something that I know that he's got to go well in is that kicking battle. They're going to want to target our players, and I think that's probably why he's selected ahead of my Pimpy, who I originally thought was going to play. They're going to have to go well, I know, because I know Will Jordan at the back, they're really going to target that kick battle, those contestable kicks, and that kick chase and kicking for territory. So I think it's going to be a real test match this weekend. And then for our 12-13 combo, probably the most settled combination in all rugby, let's be honest. Damien Delindi at 12, who was incredible, great on the ground, really had a great game last time. I would say flawless. He really was that good. I spoke about it in the predicted video. I'm not going to go into any more detail, but I really thought he looked really good. And then at 13, Jesse Kriel, the guy who's got minutes under his belt. He's been playing really well. It's going to be a big game for him, especially given the fact that the All Blacks were able to unlock our defence a little bit, not easily, but they were able to. They found ways to unlock our defence, especially that Caleb Clark try, but we'll get into that all. And then the back three, we were Kane Moody, Cheslin Colby and Willie Leroux. Well, I believe that Jesse Kriel, Cheslin Colby, Kane Moody and Willie Leroux have got to go well is very simple. If we look at the Argentina versus New Zealand game, when New Zealand put 40 points past them, 4 of their 6 tries were scored by outside backs. Now what that means for us is, when it's turnover ball, when the defence is disconnected, is an opportunity for them to go wide, which they will, and they do really well. And that is why I think Jesse Kriel has got to have a massive game, as well as Kane Moody, Cheslin Colby and Willie Leroux. I think that's why maybe they've gone with Willie Leroux at the back instead of Rassie. I think possibly to help with Kane Moody and organising our back three on that defensive line on turnover ball. I think that's where that experience comes in with Willie Leroux, and I think that is why we've gone for those guys, because Willie Leroux, he'll seen it before. He's not new to the fact that all the way New Zealand play, and I think Rassie and them would have seen the stats. New Zealand play well off turnover ball and they go wide, and that's how they've smashed Argentina, through turnover ball and going wide through their outside backs. And then we have the famous bomb squad: Malcolm Marx, Gerard Steenenkamp, Vincent Koch, Kwagga Smith, Ulrich Lowe, Jaden Hendrickse, which is interesting, Sasha Feinberg, Ngomazulu, and then Lucanio Am. Well, I believe that this is a crucial task for them, is because if you look at the All Blacks tries, a lot of their tries are scored between 20 and 40 minutes in this rugby championship. That is why I believe the starters, they've got to empty their tank. They can't slow down in that 20 to 40 minutes just before half time. They've really got to be switched on and really empty that tank, and know that the bomb squad between 40 and 60 and 60 and 80 are going to come on and have a big impact. That is why I think, honestly, the bomb squad is probably going to be where it's won and lost, if our guys are able to come on and adapt to the pace of the game. You remember, it's not at altitude, it's at sea level, so the pace of the game is probably going to be a little bit quicker. Guys are going to be a little bit fresher. I think if we're able to empty that tank between that 20 and 40 minutes, so that we don't concede, which is where the All Blacks score most of their tries in this rugby championship, as I've already said, I think we'll put ourselves in a really good position, given the fact that also between 60 and 80 minutes is where we score most of our tries and our points as the Boks, because of that impact of the bomb squad. That 40 to 60, you can expect that to be sort of a little bit tighter, and then the game's going to open up a little bit at the end. That is why a guy like Malcolm Marx to come on and really disrupt between that 40 and 60, really disrupt their ball, slow it down, steal, like Kwagga Smith to come on, steal balls, really have an impact. And then Steenenkamp and Vincent Koch to come on and really allow an Oxen Chair and France to come on, or to come off and empty the tank in that first half to sort of 55 minutes or so. And then Ulrich Lowe offers that versatility. He can play 7, he can play 8, and he can play lock. As I said, if there's injuries at 6, it's Kwagga goes on. If there's injuries at lock, PSF shifts to the lock, and then we can put an Ulrich Lowe at 7, who went really well. I mean, he stepped Mark Talia, I think it was. He's bumping guys, and really taken a liking to the Springbok jersey. I don't blame him. And then, of course, we've got Jane Hendricks coming off the bench. I've been watching him in the Curry Cup. And yeah, I mean, he hasn't really gone terribly for the Boks every time he's played. He's gone pretty well, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes. And I really believe it's going to be for that contestable kicks, and getting Moody up, getting Cheslin up, and a real focus on that kicking battle that we spoke about earlier, and that's what the All Blacks spoke about. Then we have Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu. We know what he can do. I think he's probably going to he's going to steal some hearts, some All Black hearts this weekend at the end. I think it's going to be tight, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. And I think he's going to come on and really steal some hearts, maybe with the 55-meter kick or something, I don't know, but I've got a feeling he is going to he's going to break a couple of hearts. And then Lucanio I really believe he's going to be crucial to us coming and going well on Saturday because of his organisation on defence, his understanding of the defensive system, and you're really getting us to be connected and not or lessen that disconnect over turnover ball. So that is the match day 23 to take on the All Blacks in Cape Town this weekend. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really want to know what you guys think. Who would you have selected? Who would you not have selected? What do you think is going to be won and lost? I'd love to know. Again, if you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you found value in it, only if you found value in it, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. It helps me massively, and I'll see you on the next one. Go Bokke!